And then this next picture is, Hey everybody, my name is Rosalie. Welcome back to my channel, back to Chubby. Today is another weigh-in video. I guess first I will address this behind me. This is my shower curtain. I have no idea why I decided to try and film in here today. As you can tell, the lighting is not super great in my bathroom. But I'm already set up, so I'm just gonna finish this video here and we'll probably never do it here again. You might also be able to tell that my voice is a little scratchy. I'm not sure why. I mean, like, I've been sneezing a little bit in the mornings when I first get up, but other than that, I don't feel sick. My voice doesn't even, or my throat doesn't even hurt yet, so I don't know why it's doing this. Anyway, today is another weigh-in video. Did I already say that? So let me go ahead and show that to you, and then I will talk about it.
Hello. It's ready. £356.6 pounds.
So I gained a little bit this week, or over the past 2 weeks, and I pretty much expected it to happen for multiple reasons. I made those choices, so I mean, there's not really anything for me to complain about. For example, I know that drinking alcohol makes me gain like 10 pounds in water weight and it takes forever for me to get it off, and yet I drank alcohol 2 days in a row. So I mean, there's no room for me to complain. I made that bed and now I'm lying in it, right? So all I can do is keep going forward from here. Since this week's weigh-in was not that great, decided to try and do something that I haven't done in a long time, which is focus on some non-scale victories, and I really should do that more often. If you follow me on Facebook, you've probably already seen this picture. I'm gonna put on screen a picture that I took last year, pretty much the day before I started the YouTube channel, so September 11th. And we were at one of those escape room things because I had decided pretty much that week I didn't want to do this anymore, so rather than like going out to dinner and having cake and ice cream and stuff, I decided we should try and do something different. So we all went as a family to one of those big escape rooms, and that was pretty fun. And then this next picture is from last weekend when I went to my friend's wedding, using Josh for scale, I guess, because he's about the same size. There's a few things I noticed. For one thing, I'm not wider than him anymore. My shoulders or my arms like lay down to my side more when I'm just holding my arms down. In that first picture, it looks like I'm kind of holding my arms like this. I'm not. I just couldn't put my arms down. Another thing I noticed in the first picture, I think you can probably tell my arms were really, really thick. But they were thick and smooth. They were just like a big fat column pretty much. And in this new picture, my arms look really lumpy. And that's actually a lot of excess skin, and you can see it sort of starting to like droop down my arm. So this is what it looks like when I've got a shirt on. And then this is some of the excess skin now that's just sort of hanging off of my arm. You could probably also tell I've been starting to get more definition from doing some free weights with my arms, but this stuff just... This is the place on my body where I'm seeing the most loose skin being an issue. And I don't know if it's more because I have been like lifting some free weights and trying to sort of tone these muscles, which I thought would help tighten the skin a little bit. And instead it's just pulling away from the skin more. Or if this is just where my body felt the fat needed to come from first. I guess it's a good time also to throw out for those of you who are trying to lose weight and you're trying to like target fat loss. You can't target fat loss. Your body will either pull it fairly evenly from all over, or it will pull it from where your body thinks it doesn't need to be right now. I've lost some from my wrists. I've lost about 1 inch off of each wrist, so they aren't as chubby as they used to be. I lost a little bit of weight off of a little bit of girth off my fingers, but overall my hands have always looked chubby. Even when I was 100 pounds, my hands looked pretty close to this, so I'm not counting on those getting any smaller. I have an apron belly, a bad one. That's where most of my weight is. It hangs about 4 inches higher than it used to. So like looking at these two pictures, I'm sure you can tell that my torso is actually a lot less wide than it used to be. It's about 2/3 as wide. I measured myself today, and for the first time in I'd say about 7 years, the measurement around my waist is not bigger than I am tall. So for years, I have been bigger around than I am tall, and finally, for the first time in years and years and years, that is not the case. That is, like, I feel like that's something to be happy about, but not something to get excited about, because it shouldn't be that close at all, you know what I mean? Now granted, I also carry most of my weight around that part of my belly, like that's where my apron belly sort of starts to blew out from me. That's the technical term. I still have a double chin, but it's not like it used to be, and my neck is narrower than it used to be. So overall, I'm pretty happy with these two pictures, like the difference in these two pictures. Obviously, this loose skin thing is not fun for me, but you know, that's okay. It's just in a very visible spot for me. And I wish it had come off of my apron belly, because I feel like that would help my back and my knee, but that's okay, right? You can't choose where the fat comes from, just like you can't choose where it went onto you at. So, as another non-scale victory, it is still easier for me to walk around and move. Okay, this is sort of double-edged. I feel like... Okay, today's video was going to be a Q&A, but I feel like I've already rambled a long time, so it's just going to be this. But I will go ahead and answer one question that I got, which was, have I been working out, or did I just change my eating habits? For the first 77 pounds, I lost it mostly just by changing my eating habits. But everything has slowed down now. And I mean, I do have some stuff like PCOS and insulin resistance, and so I need to watch the way I'm eating a little bit better, and I haven't been as diligent probably as I was at the beginning, but I feel like now is a good time to start adding in exercise. I didn't feel that my body could handle the exercise then. Just a lot of joint problems and a lot of pain, and I felt like I was gonna hurt myself. And sometimes I still do hurt myself. Like a couple days ago, if you follow me on Snapchat, you probably saw me go up and down some stairs at my office. It's not my office building, it's at a college building, but the building that my office is in, I went up and down the stairs a few times, and by the end of the day, my knee was like screaming, and I had done something weird to my ankle just because putting 350 plus pounds on it over and over and over going up and down the stairs hurts. I try and work out more now just by like walking and doing some free weights, but just like hand weights, not like weightlifting yet, but I'm trying to not hurt myself. Where's it going with this? I feel like I'm all over the place. Okay, yeah, let me back up. I'm glad I didn't before now, because I do think I would have hurt myself. I'm already hurting myself. On the other hand, I kind of wish that I had then, and I think probably one of the best exercises I could do for myself right now is just put 75 pounds in a backpack and just walk. When I started losing some weight, it started being way easier to move, just like leaps and bounds easier than it had been before. And I think it was essentially, the metaphor I like to think about is weightlifting. So like, let's say you're curling a 35-pound dumbbell, and then all of a sudden you move down to a 20-pound dumbbell. That 20-pound dumbbell is going to be way easier to curl than the 35-pound dumbbell, because your muscles are already acclimated to moving a lot more weight. Same as every muscle in my body was acclimated to moving 435 pounds. Moving 350 or 370 was way easier than 435. The problem is, if you just stick with that 20-pound dumbbell, then your muscles are going to acclimate to that. And if you try and go back to a 435-pound dumbbell, it's going to be a lot harder again. Your muscles are going to atrophy a little bit, and they aren't going to be, depending on the reps you do. This is not a perfect metaphor. Just stick with me. If you don't keep practicing with that heavier weight, or putting that strength to good use, you're going to lose that extra strength, and you're going to have to build back up to 35 pounds. So in this metaphor, when we're talking about my body had the stamina and the strength to move 435 pounds. It didn't have to do that anymore, so it was easier to move 370 pounds. but it hasn't had to keep practicing moving 435 pounds. So now it's starting to acclimate to moving this much. So moving this much is a little bit harder now than it was when I got to this weight. And I've been on this plateau for such a long time that it started to... I'm just not happy about it. This is supposed to be non-scale victories. So anyway, my plan is to start moving more and to start getting my body used to working out some more. And I just kind of wish I had done it when I had that extra strength that my body had built up more, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Again, this is not a perfect metaphor, but I hope it makes sense to somebody. I feel like this video is going to be sort of a nightmare to edit because I've just been so all over the place, so this might not go up until tomorrow. I did want to leave you guys with a few more things. First, be sure to send me your questions because next week I will do a Q&A. So send me your questions on Snapchat or Instagram or leave them in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see some more of my weigh-in videos or if you want to see my Do It With Me weight loss videos where I share at least one meal that I'll be having throughout the week. If you want to try BetterHelp, which is the mobile counseling service I use, there's a link in the description box below for you to give that a try if you want to. If you want to find me on social media, my username is BackToChubby, all one word. If social media is not really your thing, but you do want to send me a letter or a postcard or something, my P.O. box is also in the description box below. And I hope wherever you guys are, you are safe and happy and healthy. And remember to just keep trying the best you can. I will see you next week. Bye.